How can you achieve goals you never thought were possible? Willpower is like a muscle. If you use it a lot, your ability to make it work will be reduced. Then, when you are faced with tasks to complete or want to achieve goals you've set for yourself, it will be harder to do so. Therefore, the excessive use of willpower to make changes or achieve tasks may lead to failure. In 1998, an experiment was conducted at Case University in Ohio to examine the capability for delayed gratification and persistence on the basis of willpower. Students had to resist eating a bar of chocolate placed next to them and instead eat radishes. Students who were forced to forego the chocolate were able to invest half as much time trying to solve a puzzle compared to students who ate the chocolate. Making big changes involves a great deal of effort and willpower, and they are therefore very difficult to maintain. For example, although most people want to be thin and healthy, the majority who try to achieve these goals fail. According to the New York Times, 6 years after the program, 70% of the Biggest Loser contestants returned to their original weight. This, despite the fact that some of them became coaches in the field. In the rest of the population, the percentage of people who fail despite their will to succeed is higher. According to some sources, as many as 95% fail to maintain their weight loss. In an article published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, Professor Wendy Wood claims that when people are stressed, they tend to revert to old habits, whether good or bad. Our habits even affect the quality of our interpersonal communications. In a 2012 article in Forbes magazine, Dr. Peter Hobble described the differences in the approaches of Starbucks employees with high interpersonal intelligence compared to a senior oncologist who had treated cancer patients for years but showed no empathy for most of his patients, despite their clearly being in need of compassion. He claimed that if a patient with cancer would say, "I'm scared," the doctor's response would be something like, "Well, it looks like your blood pressure has been a little high lately." He claims that the reason Starbucks employees are able to reassure upset customers, even in cases in which their feelings are completely unrelated to Starbucks, is a strategy called the latte method. This method uses 5 simple steps to create a successful interaction with a client or any other person who is being negative. The key? Listening and displaying a positive interest. We usually eat whatever is available, not necessarily what's healthy. This is the reason that, as a diabetic, I prepare my food in advance. So out of habit, I eat the food available, don't stay hungry, and keep my blood sugar balanced. If I had to think about what I was eating before every meal, it would be much more difficult to eat healthy. So how can you develop good habits? The way to develop a habit is easy: to commit making a small effort that doesn't require too much mental effort. A habit that requires substantial mental effort, such as going to the gym for an hour every day, is much more difficult to develop. For example, instead of eating out, I invest 3 minutes in preparing food that in the end turns into 3 hours. Sometimes all I manage to do is invest those 3 minutes and peel an onion, but the commitment to doing that one small thing is what causes a habit like cooking to happen, most of the time. Fundamentally, a habit is a response to a need. If we understand the reasons for the need, it is possible to establish a relevant habit. For example, if we watch too much reality TV and as a result have no time left for important things like reading a book, then the solution is to start the evening with 2 pages of the book you want to read. After that, you might keep reading all night, and you might not. When the habit is so trivial and requires minimal willpower, then it is very easy to maintain it. Soon you won't even remember which reality program is currently being aired. In this way, we essentially remove the problematic habit from our life. However, sometimes we won't succeed in changing our negative habits. In these cases, it may be necessary to ask a professional for help. So what habits would you like to establish? Interesting stuff? Sign up for our newsletter and get more original content.